Hey guys, it's me, Pam from Blue's Food, or you can call me Blue or Pixie or whatever you want to call me. Yeah, just no rude names because that would be rude and we don't want that here. Because, no. Right, so today is my first. Well, it's my first official gardening video of 2021, and I'm today going through the plants that we have and the plants that we're going to get for this year's growing. As some of you already know, we can't really look at doing a huge amount of growing this year unless it's all in containers and movable, which is going to be rather fun for us because we're on the list to move and we don't know when that's going to happen, but it does look like we're going further and further up the list. So to a point where we had a couple of semi offers but not actual offers, and so we need to look at that and take that in consideration with this year's growing. So everything we do is going to be in pots. What we have in the ground at the moment, what we have at the moment in pots, we have a bay tree, we have a peach, we have an apricot, we have a yellow plum, we have a fig, an olive and a cherry. We also have a goji berry, a blackcurrant, loganberry, blueberry, gooseberry and strawberries. We also have a curry plant, not like curry leaves curry plant, but a curry plant. Mint, we have an entire mint bed. Sage, thyme, oregano, English parsley, which is the curly stuff, or fairy parsley, depending on where you're from. Lemon balm and coriander. But we've also got in at the moment, we've got sprouting broccoli, 2 romesco plants, sprouts, garlic, and 3 random radishes that I just threw in. That's what we've got so far. Okay, but what I am going to show you is I'm going to show you what seeds we have to work with this year. So you're going to have to look on my desk. No, we are not growing chocolate trees. I'm sorry, but it's not happening. Right. Okay. As you can see right up the top, I've got Dragon's Breath chili seeds. Now these profess to be actually about 200,000 Scovilles hotter than the California Reaper. They're only meant for medicine, and that's what I want them for. I actually want them for pain relief. I want the capsaicins from them for pain relief. But they're also a Welsh brand, so I've bought them from the grower themselves. And I don't know what that is. Just ignore that. It's just my writing on the back of the envelope. You're not seeing the other side. It's got my address on it, so shh. Right, so we've got those. I want to try a couple of those this year. I don't want to do loads. I want to try a couple, as I said, because we have our growing season is fairly short because one, we can't have trays in the house because of the cat, and we don't have enough light, and we don't have enough window space, to be honest, or space in general. Yeah, so I'll probably do 2 of those if I can and get those done. We do have runner beans, and those ones, these were all, we bought these last year and they were marked down. We got them at the end of spring, I think, and we just went and bought them. It says 3 quid on them. They were actually £2 each, 50p each from the wheelbarrow at Wilco's. So we got those. I don't know if we're going to be growing many of these. I think it will, by the time we need to put them in and worry about it, I think we will know whether we're moving or not. We've got French marigolds, of course. These are really good medicine as well. So we have a few plants of those out the front, whether they'll survive the winter and whatever, I don't know. But we've got plenty of seeds. And then we've got these ones. We've got other marigolds. Right, so we also have carrots. And if you notice, okay, this isn't paid presentation or anything like that, right? If you notice, they're only 25p a packet. I understand that some of them are really, really expensive and what have you, and but you don't have to spend that money. Just shop around and have a look. The other thing that kohlrabi, we tried to my last year I spent a lot of money on seeds. Okay, I went to Franchi Seeds and I bought loads. Okay, now that's a seed doodahs. Tell us where everything is. I bought a lot of stuff. We haven't used even half of it yet. I spent probably 50 quid on some really lovely seeds, but we haven't, as I said, haven't used them. But kohlrabi, I don't know if we're going to put those in this year until we know what's going on. Cavallo broccoli, these we didn't manage to grow because of the death of the polytunnel three times actually. We lost our brassicas 3 times, so the only brassicas we have are the ones that are semi-surviving in the front yard right now. Cavallo Fiore, it's supposed to be a really huge cauliflower, so I'm gonna try that one. These are the romescos that you've caught a glimpse of in a couple of the little things I've done. The ones that we didn't know what it was, but because we didn't know what seedlings we'd saved, so you know, from the polytunnel disasters, we just kind of just planted them all in. But they're the ones that we have 2 of, so we'll just see how we go. These are the Brussels sprouts that are out the front. Yeah, whether they grow up to anything at this point, I don't know, again, because we put them in very late last year. So but yeah, we've also got these cucumbers. Now these are the ones we grew last year, and they actually did really well. Even though the polytunnel, they had to come out of the polytunnel, we still got quite a few cucumbers off it, and they had to deal with the stress and the fact they'd been damaged and all sorts of stuff from the polytunnel collapses. Alright, now these tomatoes, these are a very special tomato. They are bunching tomatoes. These are special ones from Spain. Now, I don't have many of those. As you can see, I don't have many of the actual seeds themselves. These seeds, these tomatoes are the ones that actually, if you store them properly, will last up to 6 months fresh. They're used for a specific type of salad in Spain, because they're able to be used fresh throughout the winter. This is why I've bought these, and I want to try them out. You can get them if you have a look on eBay and places like that, and just give them a crack. Radishes, I love my radishes. I am a radish fiend. Okay, basil, I've got to grow more basil. Our basil last year died twice. Don't even. Okay, these we won't be growing this year because globe artichokes are pretty much some kind of a perennial, and they're huge, and we need space to grow them in, and they would take up an entire container that we could put like bunches of carrots and stuff in. So we're not going to be growing those this year, unfortunately, unless we move. Okay, so more cucumbers. Sunflower seeds. Oh, these. Oh my god, these. If you can get hold of these, get them. I'm telling you, these are the yummiest things. I had 3 of these plants last year. Off each one, I probably got 30 of the zucchinis, courgettes, or whatever you want to call them. And I picked them when they were about 6 to 8 inches long, you know, because I did. And they were gorgeous, absolutely stonkingly gorgeous. I had a lot of male seeds as well, male flowers as well that came off, and once I'd used those to pollinate the female flowers, I stuffed them and I ate them, and they were yummy. And you should do that, because don't waste things. Right, The spinach. This is the spinach that we grew last year that we had an issue with someone come along the front wall and start pulling the plants out, just dumping them. But yeah, it's also the spinach that started to grow on our back table because I hadn't gotten rid of the seeds yet. I hadn't, you know, and then I went and planted that bed out the side. Now they're all dead. They haven't survived, unfortunately. It was a bit of a, you know, let's see if we can get this to work, and yeah, it didn't. But you know, it is what it is, you know, and it didn't cost me anything. Right, so nasturtiums. I love these things. They're great medicine. Very, very good for you. I use the seeds when they're off the plant to pickle them like capers. I save the leaves. I save the flowers. We dry them all, and they're used in teas and all sorts of things. Very, 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 very good for you, and great fresh as well. Yummies. Also, pollinators love them. Just saying. Now, I've also got these little carrots. Now, I got these because they're cute, and if anyone tells me otherwise, dude, you're just wrong, okay? I mean, you have to have things in your garden that are just a little bit different. Why have everything the same? I think these guys are gorgeous, and I remember eating these kinds of carrots when I was a kid, and I loved them. Absolutely, utterly adored them, and they just like pop in your mouth and crunch, and they're gone, and they're gorgeous. Absolutely great. If you want to get your kids into doing something, get them to grow these. Right, chard. This chard was amazing and kept growing and growing and growing and growing. Never grew to this size because I was cutting it and using it as we went. Because, you know, I was just literally eating straight out of the garden last year. Right, these spaghetti squash, they're fantastic. I've still got one. Hang on a second and I'll go fetch it. Just hold on. Okay, so this is the last of our little spaghetti squash, and at some point in the next few weeks I will be using this to do a recipe as well for on the channel. This is probably about as big as they got, but you've got to remember that the soil that we've got at the front garden to work with is pretty shoddy. To actually get this, I'm gobsmacked, not gonna lie, utterly gobsmacked. We had about five little spaghetti squash like this. They do grow twice this size, sometimes 3 times this size, depending. But like I said, our soil out the front is pretty shoddy. It's just council soil. It's not had any work done to it. But you know what? They're great. Absolutely fantastic. And they do grow. So be happy with that. These I ate till the cows came home last year. We had 3 plants. And again, I probably got maybe 50 fruit off each one last year. It was amazing. And they were down in the front bed, which is shoddy soil. As I said, it's pretty shoddy soil over there. They were down the front, and I got about 50 off each one last year. Amazing. Yeah, more radishes. Now, these, I have to tell you that these, we didn't have a lot of luck with growing the actual radish, okay? That didn't work for us so much. But if you let the radishes go to seed, and you eat the pods, you pick the pods when they're green, they're amazing. They're like eating spicy peanuts, and you get hundreds of them per plant. So the 3 little random radishes I have in at the moment, that's what they're going to be used for, is the pods, because I love the pods. I have pickled pods in the cupboard. I've made a radish pod curry last year, which is quite popular in India. They use the pods rather than the roots. So, you know, I would like to grow radishes for being radishes because I love them so much, but I love the pods more, and I get more of those. So we will see. If they grow to be radishes this year, that's fine. If they don't, not so worried. Okay, so our beetroot again didn't do so well last year. But I cut the leaves off it. It's fine. But again, like I said, our soil's pretty shoddy around here, so what have you. Now here I don't know what's in this. I don't know what we've got left in this. What's that? Is that radishes again? Yeah, that's radishes again. And this one is cress. Cress I can keep out. I can show you guys how to grow that. Like, it's something for the kids to do, you know. I just don't have any kids around anymore. Mine are all huge, lumping great things. Right. Cornflowers. I love these. Great medicine plants, great eating flowers. They are fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I love them. And I remember my very first thing that I was allowed to grow on my own was cornflowers. When I was a kid, my mum bought me a packet of cornflowers and said, right, there you go, there's a corner up the garden, you have them. So I did. Right. Now, I don't think there's many left in this one either, actually. Oh, hang on. What's that? We've got chilies and chilies. 2 lots of chilies. The serranos and the cayennes. Alright, so they'll be grown this year. Hopefully. Like I said, it just depends. So we'll put those back in their packet so we don't lose those. Oh, these guys. I've got to show you. I think I've still got one. Just hang on a second. Hold your horses. Okay, so these, I grew one. That's the biggest one I got. But like I said, again, that soil out the front isn't that great. That needs to be used. I think it's starting to go a little bit. Oops. They do hold really, really well. I mean, like these, it's been in our porch, which is absolutely like anybody else's root cellar. It's freezing out there, and that's why we keep all the fresh veg out there because in the winter, because it is absolutely frozen. But they are gorgeous little things. I don't think they grow much bigger than that. So for me, that is a nice size. I think they grow to about double size, double of that, which is fine. It's a nice little size, actually. Right. Now here we come to oh wait, we've got breakfast tomatoes. Now I want to get some Romas, and something else we've been talking about is getting some Russian tomatoes, you know, the really, really fleshy ones. Because I make a lot of sauces and I make a lot of preserves myself. So we want to get the fleshy ones so we have more, you know, things to use them for. So yeah, we're thinking of those and some black cherries as well. Now, we have loofahs. These are loofahs. So we're thinking about that, but we can't do that one till we move because obviously we need to set up some kind of hanging arrangement. We've got some bamboo seeds. We've actually got some sugarcane seeds. I don't think... Right, okay, so I'm going to tell you, right, Tanny bought a whole heap of seeds off Wish. I'm not going to say that... I'm not going to say it. What I am going to say is these are mystery seeds pretty much. And I don't have a clue what those 3 are. They're not even named. Okay, they look like a type of strawberry seed to me, kind of. But those 2, I haven't a clue. I'd like to grow them just to have a look and see what they are. They don't actually look like sugarcane seeds to me. Sugarcane seed should be very similar to the bamboo seed. That's the bamboo seed. So they should technically be very similar to that. Now that is a very completely different thing, and I don't know if that's going to happen either. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. We'll have to see. But again, those things we can't grow until whatever, till we move. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. So there you go. That's what's in my bucket at the moment. The things that we are looking at doing. I'm actually going to do a couple of experiments this year. One of the experiments I want to do is I want some nut trees. Okay, I want a walnut tree, I want hazelnut, I want chestnut. I would love an almond. Whether it would grow in our climate, I don't have a clue, but we can give it a crack. You know, why not? So what I'm going to do is at some point this week, I'm going to actually buy some nuts in the seed from an organic grower that I know. and I trust, and they get their stuff, and that's where I'm going to grow them from, is from the seeds that they have, well, the nuts that they sell as eating nuts. They should be fine. No, you know, they should be fine. Technically, they should be fine. But we'll give it a crack and see what happens. And it's not going to hurt. We've actually got some potatoes that have gone green in the porch, I've just noticed. They were supermarket ones. I'm thinking of maybe giving them a go to grow them. See how that goes. I don't know how that's going to go. They were really, really cheap ones. We picked them up for like 19p in Aldi's. So, you know, if they do grow, yahoo. If they don't, well, we're not really that worried about it. Yeah, there are other things that we want to grow this year. I want to get a green zucchini, or courgette, as you guys call them all over here, as well as the yellow one. There's some other, I'd like to grow some marshmallow, and I'd also like to get some, there's a couple of other herby things that I want to get in there. I'd like to get some borage in there. I'd like to start growing some comfrey. Comfrey is a really, really good medicinal herb. I'm trying to build up my medicine garden as much as possible. But like I said, it's going to be softly and slowly. But, you know, we do what we do with the space that we've got, right? At the moment, our space is, like I said, limited. But, you know, we'll get there. And if it means that we have to run around all the supermarkets and cadge all their cut flower buckets for this year and spend a little bit more money on things like compost and stuff like that, just to get things going so that we have something for this year, then that's what we've got to do. Where the spinach bed is, that's where our 3x2 polytunnel is going to go. But I will go further into that when it's not raining and blowing a gale outside. I would have done some stuff from outside today, but it's just no, I'm sorry. I just can't. It's too blowy out there. It's probably going to send me on my butt. And with Tanny out today, it's not going to happen. I'm afraid I've got to stay here where it's nice and safe and warm. Yes. Besides, someone has to look after the cat. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this. Have a look at the seeds that I've got for this year, and hearing about what we're looking at getting as well. I know Tanny's got some plans for what he would like to do. So, you know, all our polytunnel stuff this year is all going to be in containers, unfortunately. Like I said, we don't know when we're going to move. We do have a feeling it'll be in the next 6 months because we are that high on the list now. So we just have to find the right place. So yeah, but until then, we carry on the way that we do, and we want to show you guys that it's possible to do this stuff on a shoestring. Yes, I spent some money I shouldn't. I haven't bought any new clothes for 2 years, okay, because I've been putting all my spare money into buying seeds and buying plants and such like. All my leggings have been ripped to pieces by the cat. So if you see me walking around in leggings that have got holes in, they're from the cat, okay? Her claws literally just rip all my clothes into shreds, which is why I have very, very few clothing that I can actually wear at the moment. So I forewent all that for a couple of years just so I could put the money into this. It can be expensive. Don't get me wrong. I know it can be expensive, but softly, catch the bargains where you can. If you have a bit of extra cash floating around, do what you have to do. If you want to grow things like chickpeas and stuff like that, buy them from an organic wholesaler where you can get a kilo for like a £5. Okay, and just use a handful of those while you've got the other rest of the kilo to cook in your cupboards. Do you know what I mean? Look at options like this because they help. They really help. And you know, even if you start with a couple of herbs on your kitchen window, if you have a kitchen window, we don't really have a kitchen window to do that on. As a little postage stamp on the side, as some of you may have seen already, that you know, there's no way that you can grow anything on there. So yeah, just do what you can. Every little bit starts. There's a guy around the corner who decided that during the first lockdown he would dig up his whole entire front yard and plant potatoes. Then all of a sudden he had 150 pounds of potatoes and he didn't know what to do with them all. 150 kilos, sorry, not pounds, kilos. He offered some to us and we're like, yeah, but we don't really eat potatoes. And we don't, actually. Tanny occasionally will buy a bag of potatoes, so for us it's not really worth growing them, but I want to give these supermarket ones a bit of a, I don't want them to go to waste, so I'm going to grow them. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for hearing me out. If you want to see more of my adventures in the garden this year, please do hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the video so it can get around more. Share it if you want to, I don't care, it's all good. And leave a comment, because I would love to hear your comments and see your suggestions, or, you know, I'd love to hear them. Okay, so take care, look after yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye bye.